This brief video is going to show you how to recognize empirical research, which is the kind of research that we're going to do in this class. So, not all research is empirical, meaning not all research actually has contact with its research populations and relies on surveys and data collected by the researchers. Some research is general research, which usually relies more on reading and finding articles and um, coming to conclusions or trying to prove something through that reading. We need both of this kind of research, but this week you're going to look for empirical research. So here's a chart, and we'll talk a little bit about the differences. So first off, population. An empirical study will always describe the population that was interviewed or surveyed. General research may describe a population, right? It could be reading about a certain population, but the researchers didn't have direct contact with that population. So that's a major difference, right? They weren't talking to that population. They're not gathering information or making observations on the actual population of people. So let's say you wanted to study um, parents who are also students, right? We're not reading about them, we're talking with them. Questions. So both kinds of research might have questions, but research questions or a hypothesis is going to be, in an empirical study, is going to be answered or proved based on the observations that are happening. And those observations might be through studies, surveys, and actual observation. General research may have a question or something it's looking to prove, but it does so through reading existing literature. Methods. So empirical research is going to show or explain the research methods in regards to how it collected and analyzed the data. Um, and a general research may or may not mention methods at all, but if it does, it might discuss how the reading was reviewed. You know, we reviewed 250 studies about ChatGPT to come to these conclusions, right? Or to make the claim that we're making. It's not a physical interaction with a population. Um, Findings and recommendations. The empirical study is, again, those findings and recommendations are going to be based on the analysis uh, of direct contact and observations with the population, whereas general research, it may totally make recommendations, but it's going to be based on how they're analyzing and understanding their reading. So let's just look at a few studies together. And I have a few of these up here. So let's take this one first, and I'll make it a little bigger. AI writing tools in education. If you can't beat them, join them. Okay, so we're noticing things we've already started noticing with scholarly research and abstract. And right here under the abstract is keywords. And again, keywords are search terms that are going to help you find more information like this article. So you could, when you're reading something, you might borrow keywords for the searches that you're doing and see if that helps you. So I'm looking here, oops, I see an abstract. It's proposing a 5-part pedagogical framework that seeks to support second language learners. So it's proposing something, but I don't see anything about a population or any studies that were actually conducted. Yeah. So what do you think? Is this empirical or general research? If we were together, I'd ask you. And I hope you notice that it is general research. It's not empirical. It didn't involve a specific population. All right, close that out. Let's look at another one. A qualitative study of freshmen and academic advisors' perspectives on academic advising in nursing. Found this when I was searching around different things in our library, actually. So there's an abstract right here. And I'm going to read this abstract. And I'm getting into like about the third sentence, and I see a total of 79 participants were recruited to participate in this qualitative research. So I can tell right off the bat that this involves an actual population. Here's my keywords. Here's an introduction, background, and all the different findings. Here's my methods and design. And so now I'm noticing these things we talked about with empirical research. And there's even a table of contents right here where you can kind of see the sections: methods, results, discussion, conclusions. So this is an empirical research article. Okay, here's another article. My teacher is a machine, understanding students' perceptions of AI teaching assistants in online education. I, Meredith Arena, am not a machine. Um, but I found this article and I thought it'd be interesting to look at. So here's the abstract. An increase in demand for online education has led to the creation of new technology, machine teachers, artificial intelligence. Thus, the present study investigated student perceptions about AI teaching assistants in higher education. Primary findings indicate that perceived usefulness. I don't hear anything here about a study being conducted with actual people. Here's my introduction. Okay, I see that it's there's a background here with lots of references. Looks like an interesting article. There is some methods here, so let's see. Initially, a total of 349 undergraduate students from communication courses at a large public university in the US responded to this study. Okay. To ensure the study received data of good quality, a few steps were taken to filter unusable data. Okay, so this is methods. So here, this is an empirical study. So I maybe thought it wasn't right at the beginning, but I can see that it is now. So one of the reasons I wanted to pull up a bunch of articles is so that you see that these articles don't all look exactly the same, but you will start to notice common things in them. So let's close that one out. Here's another one where we saw this one already. And so what do you think? You guys read this already. Is this an empirical research article or is it a general article? This article that we read already. So if you remember, and a lot of you reacted really strongly to this article was specifically interviewing faculty on their perceptions of students and college readiness of students. So this is also an empirical study.